Kevin Newman joins us on the Burns Gambo show. Kevin, Kellen Olson, John Gambador, how are you today?
Doing well. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. I was reading this note that the D-backs put out last night. 8th career walk-off plate appearance, 6 of which have been hits. 4 of those hits have come against the Reds. That's a lot of walk-off hits in a young career.
Yeah, just been fortunate enough to be in that situation quite a bit, I guess, and, able to come through a few times.
Tell me about this situation. Diaz is a little wild, right? It's a little wild, bases loaded, you're up. You know he can't walk anybody. He's got to be a little bit more particular and come over the plate. What are you thinking in that situation after what had happened in the 3 previous at-bats?
Yeah, I definitely wanted to see one there, and he kind of dotted that first slider down. Once he made that pitch, you kind of think that, okay, he's got the feel for it. So kind of just looking for a ball, over the heart of the plate. He threw that slider and kind of executed it pretty well. Landed it on the corner, the outside corner, but just stayed through it, just enough. Cued it over the first baseman, and sometimes it helps to hit the ball softly, and they didn't have a chance at getting either one of those runners.
Yeah, because you'll look at anything there, right? I mean, sac fly, anything. You punch it to right field. The way that pitch was on the outside part of the plate, is that what you're trying to do? You're trying to hit that thing to the right side?
Anytime, a pitch is outside, that's where you want to take it. Sometimes it doesn't always work like that, but, based on kind of the speed of the guy, his fastball, his off speed, how it moves, you kind of just trust your bat path and your eyes. You take your swing, and then, whatever result happens, happens.
Kevin, it's 8 hits for you in the last 3 games. Jody Jackson on the broadcast last night mentioned she had a brief conversation with you where you mentioned some tweaks and changes that you were making in the batting cages. Can you talk us through a little bit of those, because they seem to be doing pretty well for you?
Yeah, just really minor tweaks and really my prep work. Just trying to stay through the ball as much as I can, in all my cage routines and my batting practices, and it's helping me stay on off speed, just a little bit better. And last night was a great example of that, just staying on it, just enough. So, looking to keep working up the middle of the field, and, just continuing to clean up the bat path and stay in the zone a long time.
How important are those moments over the course of the season where you're making those little tweaks, you're getting advice from the coaches, and you're just making the smaller adjustments here and there to stay on top of it?
I think they're crucial. This game is a game of adjustments. The pitchers are constantly changing how they're throwing you based on, the data that they're getting, what pitches you're struggling with, what you're hitting well. So I think to be able to make in-game adjustments as well as, adjustments between series is huge. It's everybody does it, except maybe a select few. But for the most part, you're constantly making adjustments. You're constantly trying to tweak and feel things out and, make your swing better.
Kevin, talk about that 7th inning to me, because this team really needs to win with pitching and defense. That's what it was built on. It's a Torey Lovello staple. You get the India walks, you get him caught stealing. And tell me about that play with De La Cruz. Singles to left. He's out trying to stretch it at second base. Just smart baseball for you. He's being a little overly aggressive right there, and you were able to get him.
Yeah, that's a great play by Cattell. Our scouting report, and probably everybody else knows that Ellie's trying to stretch singles into doubles. We knew that coming in. Our outfielders knew that coming in. So that ball's hit off the bat. I think we all kind of could feel that Ellie wanted to get to second base on that, get into scoring position. He naturally is aggressive on the base paths anyways. So when Gurry got it in quickly, I was letting it go. I turned my head to kind of pick up the runner, because I try to shout to Marte, kind of what's happening behind his back. If the runner's coming in, I yell tag him. And in that situation, when the runner's not, and he's kind of hung out to dry, I'm yelling 1-1-1-1, so that he kind of has a little bit of a heads up, knowing what's behind him, knowing, hey, we got to play at 1, turn and look for that. So, he caught the ball, turned, fired it, no hesitation. A great play, a tough lane to throw to Walker, with Ellie kind of right in between he and Walker. So got it over there, and Ellie was just hung out in the middle and ultimately got him. So it was a huge play for us. A big momentum shifter. So it was a big one.
Absolutely. Good insight right there. I got to ask you about just umpiring, because we're going to talk about this a lot today. Is it time? Is it time to just go to computers and robots to call balls and strikes? I mean, Jock struck out on a pitch that was low outside, nowhere near the strike zone. He gets tossed. Torrey gets tossed. It was a game yesterday. I think Phillies and Mets. The umpires didn't even know what the count was on a walk, if there was 3 balls or 4 balls. Are you at that point right now? How do you feel about eventually going to a more computerized system for balls and strikes?
I'd say I'm for it. I just don't know the logistics of it. I don't know how difficult it is to implement. It's a really tough situation just because, in my opinion, we do have some really good umpires in the game. And then unfortunately there are some that miss some pretty crucial calls and make some pretty crucial mistakes. I personally would just like to see the umpires that grade out the best behind the plate more. If they don't want, the robot system, we've got a whole grading system and you see how good they are. If we got guys that are 99 percenters, then, let's throw them back there more often and have those guys call more games. So that's my 2 cents on it. Whether, I doubt it'll happen. I doubt, we're going to see the automated zone anytime soon anyways. But yeah, I mean, I know a lot of guys just want, fair balls and strikes, really. So.
Yeah. I think at the very least, I thought it was a really quick toss on Jock because,
yeah.
I mean, look, I mean, give him a second. He's heated over a call. Like, obviously, it's a controversial call. The pitch was terrible. It was low, it was outside. It wasn't even close to the strike zone. Obviously, he went down in disgust. He struck out. Big situation right there. You're trying to win the baseball game. I think that they should have a little bit more leeway with you guys on a called third strike to let you complain for about 10 seconds, 5 seconds before they toss you.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think it was a super quick trigger. A lot of us, including Jock, I think were really shocked. You typically got to say something pretty bad, at the umpire, to get tossed that quickly. Obviously he was just shocked at the call. He kind of just laid his bat down too, didn't even throw it, and got rung up. And I don't know. I was pretty shocked to see him get tossed right there.
Kevin, as a fellow Arizona Wildcat, a bear down to you, sir. Have you made it down to Tucson in the last couple months since signing?
I have not. No, not since signing, unfortunately.
Is there any spot you're looking to hit when you get back eventually that you're missing?
It's actually been a couple of years since I've gone down, and I've been told it's made some pretty insane changes. A whole bunch of new stuff, buildings. The school's done a great job of, renovating, Old Main and all that. So I'm looking forward to getting down there and definitely checking it out.
I put my daughter through U of A. She got her doctorate. She's a doctor now because of U of A.
It's a beautiful school. Yeah. We're known as a basketball school, I hear, but look at our baseball players kind of chipping in.
Chip Hale, former D-backs manager.
Look at that. I'm just saying.
Yep.
All right, Kevin. Appreciate the conversation. Really do. We'll see you out at the ballpark tonight.
All right, appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me.
You got it. That's Kevin Newman, shortstop for the D-backs. Interesting, real interesting what he had to say about going to robot umpires. Really liked that conversation. We'll maybe revisit that a little bit later on.
Thanks for watching Burns Gambo. Click to see more from the guys and hit the button in the middle to subscribe so you never miss a video from Arizona sports.